Suzanne Africa Engo reporting as an iReporter on CNN.com. I'm going to try, and I repeat, I'm going to try and capture a little bit of the dialogue that's been going on here online about CNN's presentation this week of Black in America, hosted by Soledad O'Brien. Okay, so let's go right to the boards, and I just want to read some of what has been said exactly. B. Davis said, "A healthy diet and exercise start with just loving yourself and having a healthy esteem." Now, I think she was referring to the incident with the tomato, and a dialogue had begun about how far the tomato was to get. The woman had to go 20 minutes to get. Some members had talked about how it was a bit of a food desert out there. And then I had to say that we really need to get our health in order. I actually have just gone from being 250 pounds to about 158 pounds, and certainly my health effects and health issues have lessened. So I guess the conversation begins to unravel about, what is that solution? That was the comment on the health. I actually want to just bring up something that was brought up yesterday. There was someone online, and he's been raised as an Army brat, so he's been raised all over, and he was saying that he didn't really feel racism until he came back to the U.S. when he was 15 years old and lived in the South, and then he was called all sorts of names. There were racial slurs that he didn't even know about, and he was, quite frankly, felt like the rest of the world was ahead of the curve. Now, this is what I said back to him. Now, I'm a child of a former UN ambassador, so I've lived a bit of all over myself, and I just want to say this. Now, this is not a shot at the Europeans or anywhere else in the world, but Americans, as you can see, are a bit pushed to be more vocal with their feelings. They're pushed to say what they feel, freedom of speech, and all that kind of thing. So I think that kind of environment lends itself to people that are going to vocalize their racism a little bit more than in other places. If you think about somewhere like England, certainly it's an environment that's a little bit more emotionally subdued. People aren't really as vocal as for lack of a better term. And so while I believe that, yes, in America we do hear the N-word and the this, and, people on YouTube, I've posted some of things on YouTube about this, and people have called me a porch monkey and go eat my banana and go back to Africa and all those things. I think, while I don't think that I may necessarily hear it in England or in France, I think that it's not necessarily not being thought sometimes. So, not to credit the out loud racist, but just to say that, in fact, I actually prefer for them to call me that, because then I know where I stand. Sometimes it's the silence or the push of the paper to the left that can hurt you more than that guy from God knows where he's typing from. I can't even believe he owns a computer typing the N-word at you. Of course, like CNN Black in America, it's impossible for me to get every single comment and story and whatever else is going on in regards to Black in America. Honestly, I don't think that it can be done. So while it's easy to bash CNN for its effort at Black in America, I think that one has to consider that there are a hell of a lot of stories. And I do believe I heard them saying that this is the beginning of a series that's going to be looking at Black in America 40 years after Dr. King. So, there's still time left. There's still more stories to be told. And certainly, your story, Black in America, is important. And you should have it be told. We shouldn't be waiting for CNN to tell all our stories. We should tell our own stories. Grab your camera, grab your pen, and write it down. And if you can't get it on television or you can't get it to a mass audience, find a way to distribute and tell your story grassroots. We can't be waiting for people to solve or tell what it is that we have the power to tell. We can't be waiting for the government or the TV to tell us how to be healthier. We have to start to get healthier. And that will be the true story of Black in America, is that Black people decided that they take their own fate into their hands and continue in the legacy of Dr. King and reach out to other Black Americans and white Americans and Asian Americans and Indian Americans. Okay, Asian and Indian are the same. I know people will always comment on the littlest thing, so I'll catch that. But I think it's time that we, as Americans as a whole, start to dialogue more again with each other as opposed to against each other. So that's my 2 cents. Blog away, comment away, insult away. I'll be online and I'll totally be listening to everything that you have to say. So, this has been Suzanne Africa Engo reporting as an iReporter on CNN.com. I'm online and I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.
You know I'm proud to be Black, y'all, and that's a fact, y'all. And if you try to take what's mine, I take it back, y'all. It's like that. Liggy, 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 liggy. All that people, here's a serious song. It's right, not wrong, I should say right on. I gotta tell you something that you all should know. It's not a mystery, it's history, and here's how it goes.